Hey everybody, welcome to my new mod pack that I'm working on. I'm calling it Skytania. It's a Skyblock series and it's going to be heavily based on Botania. So that's going to be the focus. At least that's my hope right now. So to try to make sure that I focus on Botania, which is what I really want to do, I have removed many of the other mods that I typically play with. So there's no Tinker's Construct. There's a crafting station. There's a single mod out there that rebuilt the crafting station, so you can just have that, which is awesome because it's really nice. So I can have the crafting station without all of Tinker's Construct. So that's nice. So if you've never played a Skyblock before, basically this is what it is. You get a very small, empty world that has usually almost nothing in it, maybe a couple starting resources, but generally very little. So on this one, all I have is this block of dirt and a tree, and I'm supposed to make the entire world from this stuff. So how are we going to accomplish all of that? Well, it's not going to be quite as difficult as it may seem. So there are some mods that will help us out with that. So one of the primary mods that I'm using for that is called Nihilo Creatio. No idea if I'm saying that right, but whatever, there it is. So this mod allows us to basically, it's got some mechanics in there so that we can, create the world from nothing. Ex nihilo, I believe, is Latin for from nothing, so it's basically, the gist of it. The way I'm harvesting all of these blocks at once is called ore excavation. There was another mod, it used to be called vein miner, but I think it was either abandoned or they just didn't like it or something. I don't know. Something happened and someone rewrote it and called it ore excavation, and that's the one that I am using. So yeah, it works out pretty well. You just hold down the grave key by default. That's the default binding, and it will let you harvest all the blocks of the same type as long as you have something in your hand. If it's a tool, it'll use the tool's durability. If it's just a regular block, it won't use durability. So the only thing you have to watch out for is if you are using a tool that has durability and you try to break too many blocks, your tool will break and it will stop breaking something. So I try not to use that on the giant trees because my tool will break and the tree will be mostly still there. So I don't want that to happen. Okay, let's keep going with expanding out this platform. What I would like to have is kind of a little 3x3 grid of trees, not like right next to each other, but like one apart, so whatever that is. I want to make sure I've got, plenty of space on my platform to walk around, somewhat safely. Obviously nothing down there, so if I fall off, I fall to my death, and, we respawn, which is, right now, not terrible. It wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, so yeah, so that is the goal of this, to basically use ex nihilo to recreate the world and do as much with Botania as possible. We want to do a bunch of automation, and I want to make sure that I'm using Botania for that as much as possible, which is why I pretty much took out all the other tech mods that I usually use. So there's no Ender IO. There's no there's no Tinkers. There's no, man, what else isn't there? There's not a lot of tech mods in this. It's basically thermal expansion and RFTools, and I put RFTools in here basically for RFTools control, which I may end up using for Botania automation. I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we've got a decent amount of saplings now. So what I would like to do is start working on getting some more dirt. So in Nihilo, the way we get more dirt so I can plant more trees is by composting organic material in these wooden barrels. So yeah, I do want 8 of them. I won't be using 8 right now, but that's the number that I want. So let me plan out my structure, and let's build out a bit more of the platform. So I want something to go there, and then I would like 3 spaces away from there for the platform, you know, for safety walking and whatnot. I mean, you know, I'm crouching right now, so it's not terrible, but okay, so I want a tree to go here, so I need to go out 2 more. It's like 2 more from all the sides, basically. I did put building gadgets in this, but I've taken it out. In the little bit of playtesting I've done with this mod pack, it just seems like building gadgets comes too late to be useful, and it isn't that helpful when you get it. I mean, there's nothing that we're going to be, you know, we won't be digging out large areas or flattening terrain or building bridges in the nether or even overland. So, you know, really, we need something a bit more early game than that. So I feel that for a Skyblock, where you're going to be building a lot of platforms early on, Better Builders ones actually is a better choice. So that's what I put in this pack. I took out Direwolf's tool, even though I absolutely love it. I just didn't feel it was going to be that useful in I did some playtesting. So, we need to get composting. Is that 3 out from everyone? No, I need 1 more over here. You know, aside from the mods I mentioned and Botania, pretty much everything else is just quality of life Minecraft stuff. So, you know, there's inventory tweaks and iron chests. There's no iron backpacks. There are satchels from thermal expansion. Oh, wait a minute, just threw in my eye. That was annoying. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so there are satchels from thermal expansion. So, you know, I'm trying to minimize the number of mods I'm using here, and I want to, as much as possible, work with Botania. So, no Ender IO. I'm going to have to use conduits from thermal expansion. I did put XNet in here because, you know, having the conduits in one space is just so nice. And if they just had a way to bundle all 3 things, you can only bundle either fluid and power or power and items. And even the power bundling, you can't even do like high transfer rates. It's 4,000 R per tick max, which, you know, is enough for most of the game, but it's not enough for everything. So, all right, let's see here. Have I explained the crook? I don't remember if I did or not. Okay, so the crook is the way we get silkworms, and it also allows us to get extra drops when breaking leaves. So normally, you know, your leaves decay or you break a leaf, you might get a sapling. So the crooks increase your chance of getting those things. It's almost like you broke 3 times as many leaves. So that's what the crook does. It will also help us get string in a little bit here. So let's see here. Let's get to composting. So I want to, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put my barrels over here on the edge for now. How many saplings do I have? Okay, so you can compost pretty much any organic material in here, but you get different amounts that fills the barrel. So saplings and tree leaves, it's 8 for a full barrel. So that's kind of a nice thing. It's kind of it means a whole stack of something will give you what you want. So now that I've got a bit more leaves, I'm going to wait for that to compost, which should be done very soon. I think it takes about a minute by default. I don't think I've changed the defaults for that. I did speed up the witch water stuff if you played Ex Nihilo before, but won't be getting into that till later. So there we go. Alright, so we should have more dirt now. There we go. So when you compost things in these wooden barrels, you will get dirt. And that's what I wanted because I want to get more trees. So we're going to plant trees 1 block apart from the center tree. That's, if you've watched my playthroughs before, you know I'm a little bit obsessed with symmetry. So there we are. Okay. So some of these platforms are falling into the void. It's fine. Let's see here. Should be 1 more. Yep, because we had 8. Okay. Because we start off with this torch on the platform, we do have a light source, so we can keep growing trees even at night. This is our only light source, so we won't be able to, you know, we won't have much light. And I am placing these slabs on the top slab, not the bottom slab, because I just think it looks weird when you use the bottom slab. I mean, monsters can't spawn, and that's nice, but it looks so weird when things are kind of floating above them. So I don't really like that. So, alright, I need at least 1 more piece of dirt. We're going to need to make a silkworm tree. And I'm going to try to keep the silkworm trees away from the rest of the trees. Let's see here. Alright. I'm going to put this down here. Let's get a chest. Let's get a double chest. So we do have iron chests in here, but obviously there's no iron, so it will be some time before that's an option. Just in case, let's throw things we don't need into here, so if we, you know, die or something, we wouldn't lose everything. So there we go. We're probably fine here, so I'm not too worried about this, but it never hurts to be a little cautious. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to build off a little ways away from this so that we can plant a tree where we can infest it with silkworms. And the silkworms will travel from leaf to leaf, so you don't want to put them near your main trees or you'll get all silkworm stuff and you may not want that. So generally, I usually go a little bit away to make a lone silk tree. So we're just going to go 5 away over here. 3, 4, 5. And then I still want that 3 gaps, so we're actually going to go 3 more. Yeah, the 5 is the spacing, and then I like 3 around because it's an odd number, and that gives you symmetry, and it just works out. We're going to put our block down here and our tree. It's too dark over here for the tree to grow until it's daytime, so can't grow this tree yet, but, you know, daytime soon enough. Our other option would be to break that torch, bring it over here, which is fine. I don't think we'll have any trouble with mobs right now. We are just too close to everything for them to spawn. I think you've got to be 24 blocks away for mobs to spawn. So, you know, they pretty much can't. Okay, let's see here. Let's get 3 on all sides of the tree in the little 3x3 grid that I have laid out. And then I may fill that in. I probably will. I don't know if I like the way this looks. 1, 2. Yeah, I've got to go at least these 2. Oops. I'm out of stuff. I'm out of stuff. Was that it? Or did I need 2 more? I need more anyway. It's fine. I've got the Klee Slabs mod, which lets me, you know, break part of a tree or part of a slab. So that's nice. I'm gonna need another one of these axes, aren't I? Oh, I've got one. Good. Okay. I honestly don't know if wooden axes are any faster than just your hand. They don't really seem like they're that much faster, but whatever. Yeah, let's go ahead and borrow this torch and get the tree to grow. It doesn't take very long for the silkworms to infest, so you know it wouldn't be a big deal to just leave it, but I like to stick 4 of them in here and then come back about, I don't know, a minute or 2 later. Alright, let's put that torch back. I'm going to put it right here for now. I press F7. Yeah, it's dark enough that mobs could spawn in the nighttime, but again, we're too close for it to happen. I guess no, I don't have any torches right now, so I don't want to do that. Okay, so you can see the silkworms are spreading, infesting the leaves. So once that's all done, we can go break that with a crook, and we'll get some string. And string is one of the first things we'll have to do to start getting more materials. So, you know, the first thing we did was we composted to get some more dirt. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So that was the first thing that we had to do. We had to get dirt, and we need to get more dirt because the next step is to take the dirt we get and sift through it. And by doing that, we're going to get all kinds of things. We'll get seeds and tiny pebbles, which we can make into cobblestone or andesite or gravel. No, not gravel. Lots of stuff. That's the important thing. Okay. So, but we need lots of dirt because the sifting process, you have to sift a lot of stuff. So what I want to do right now is go get another crook or a compressed crook. So let's get 4 regular crooks, and then we will use that to get a compressed crook, and then we'll be able to get string from over here. Alright, there we go. So you get lots of string this way. So you don't have to do this very often. It's basically a very early game mechanic to get some string, because we're going to use string to make our mesh for our sifter guy. Alright, before I do that though, let's make a few stone shears. So we do have a mod called Tiny Progressions, which has a lot of cool miscellaneous blocks. It's very helpful for Skyblock packs. It can be useful for other things too, but I think it really shines in Skyblock. But they've added a lot of stuff I didn't know about, so I've tweaked the configs a little bit, but not too much. So let's see here. But they do add stone shears, or wooden, sorry. They add stone shears too, but I am going to use wooden shears. I have no stone right now. So let's see here. I need sticks. I need... Okay, so we'll get some sticks. Let's see, get more of those. Okay. Alright. Let's start with 8 of those, because we're going to use... They're going to be used a lot. And now let's get a sieve to start sifting through things. So here is our first sieve. And it's basically some wood and some planks, or some wooden planks and a slab and a stick. And then we have to put a mesh on it. That's why we need the string. So we get a string mesh. That's our first mesh. There are more kinds of meshes that we will use later on, but this is the first one. And basically what we're going to do with that is, I don't want to put this down. I don't want to put it down over here. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we'll put it down right there. So put the string mesh in there. And now the reason I wanted these shears is so we can get leaves. So that's a big tree. It's going to break my shears pretty soon. I'll just do that. So I've got a pretty new axe, though. That should be okay for my axe. Let the rest of it just decay naturally. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to get leaves. Okay, it's daytime now. Let's go grow this tree and get some more silkworm. Is this right? Doesn't seem right. I guess it's just because I haven't... Yeah, I didn't flush out the platform there. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I won't need this right now. It's just good to have it later. So basically, I like to use these shears, and that will get me lots of leaves. And with lots of leaves, I will be able to do more composting, get some dirt, and I can use the dirt to sift through and find stone pebbles, and we'll use that to get cobblestone, and we can turn cobblestone into gravel and sand and a thing called dust, and sifting those things is going to give us pretty much all of the things you would go mining for. So that is basically what's going to happen right now. There we go. Let's go ahead and... So, yeah, basically a lot of the early game is just make trees, cut them down, sift for things, make more dirt, sift through that. So, let's take a look at how sieving works. I'm going to start the dirt composting before I do that. You can sift leaves, too, to get saplings. There's like an 80% chance, but we don't really need any saplings right now. I've got plenty. You won't get any saplings when you do the shears, though. So when you're low on saplings, you want to make sure you start using your crook again. So, okay, so we've got 8 pieces of dirt. So we're going to get, you know, some stuff. So you just right-click on this, and you get a bunch of stuff going through, and we will sift through the dirt to see what we get. So the chances we get stuff are low, but you are guaranteed to get stone pebbles. I tweaked the recipes a little bit so that it's not quite as tedious. So what do we get? We got an andesite pebble. We got some ancient spores. That's a special mechanic in Ex Nihilo that we'll use later on. I think you can use that to make mycelium. I'm not sure, though. We got some melon seeds, some cactus seeds, pumpkin seeds, diorite pebbles. We got a dark oak sapling. By default, they give you dark oak seeds, but I just changed that. I didn't want a lot of extra items just hanging around being useless. I was okay with it being sapling because they're the same thing. They can't stack. I left the cactus seed the same because if I gave you cactus, you could stack those, and that wouldn't be quite the same as just a seed. But I think the saplings are pretty much just a seed. So I changed that recipe a little bit. You also get vanilla seeds, and there we go, stone pebbles. So I tweaked the recipe. You're going to get 4 stone pebbles for every piece of dirt. It's just a guarantee, just what you get. And if I didn't mention it, the reason I went for leaves rather than just doing saplings is you're going to get way more leaves with the shears than you will ever get saplings. So early on, you know, you'll want to do a bunch of composting. You're going to want leaves to do that with. So take your stone pebbles, put them in a 2x2 grid, and we get cobblestone. Hey, look, we're at the Stone Age. Cool. So what are we going to do with this stone? Well, I'm thinking... Can I make a stone axe? Or is that a waste of stone? Yeah, that's a waste of stone right now. We don't have the resources for that right now. I'm not going to do that. Let's get another wooden axe, though, so I have that going. We've got more shears for now. That's fine. Yeah. So, okay. So, what do we do with cobblestone? Well, cobblestone is going to be turned into gravel and sand and dust, and then we'll sift through that stuff similar to how we sifted through the dirt to get more material. So, I told you about the string mesh. There are 3 other meshes. There is a flint mesh, an iron mesh, and a diamond mesh. And some things you can only get from higher tier meshes, and the higher tier meshes generally gives you a better chance of finding things, although some things you don't get from higher tier meshes. So I did a little bit of tweaking default configs, but you know, it's pretty much vanilla. The only one thing that they did by default that I just hated was they made lead only obtainable from crushed diorite, which they added. And there is a companion mod to Nihilo called Compressum, which helps out with some of the tedium by letting you do some compressing mechanics, which are very handy. So definitely wanted to get that. All right, I think we'll switch off to our other axe now. And let's take a look at what we're going to do for sifting more stuff. So what is the next step? The next step is to get what? Our goal right now is to get an automated cobblestone generator, because making dirt and sifting through pebbles, okay, it's very cool that you can do that, and that's a great mechanic for starting your roll from nothing, but it gets old pretty quick, and you're going to want to, you know, get off of that as soon as possible. So, yeah. So, to do that, I want to get this cobblestone generator. But to get that, we need iron buckets and glass and more cobblestone. So, also need to get water and lava. So, wow. That is a lot of things we do not have right now. So, how are we going to get any of that? I don't know. It's not sure I do know. Let's see here. So, to get water, there are a couple of options. We could wait for it to rain, and water will collect naturally in the barrels. That's, it's one way. It's the most annoying way. So, not how I'll be doing it. We can do a similar mechanic to composting with a device called the Crucible. The Crucible will let us make water from organic material. So rather than composting into dirt, we're going to take the water out of the leaves, I guess. So let's make an oak crucible. So we want this guy. This is from Compressum, but there is one in Nihilo. It gets disabled by the Compressum one. So, all right. So there we go. An oak crucible. Cool. Let's see. Let's combine our axes too. And let's see here. Where do I want this guy? I guess I'll put him right there. And we need 4 leaves to fill this up, I believe. Yep, there we go. And basically, he's just going to go and get us some water. So, cool. So, that's one way to get water. What we need to do now is turn that into an infinite water source. So, for that, we're going to need a bucket. So, there are a few options for buckets. I did add a mod, the clay buckets mod. And that gives you, if it wasn't clear from the name, clay buckets. So, yeah. All right, so we could go that path, or could go right for iron buckets, you know. Clay bucket isn't too hard to get, so I don't know. We could get a clay bucket. I think I will, just to show you the clay bucket. Clay bucket can handle as much water as you want, but if you put lava in it, it can carry lava, but as soon as you empty it out, it breaks. So it's a one-time use as far as that goes. So that would be the next step. But, you know, that backup message came on, and that's likely telling me that it's been about a half an hour or so, so that's probably a good wrapping up point for the first episode. Yeah, probably. I think I've explained the basics, and we've got a pretty good thing going. We've got some of our composting going. We've got our string mesh and our first sieve. We even have almost a bucket of water. We'll get there. So next time when we come back, we will make a clay bucket, and we'll get an infinite water source, and we'll work towards getting lava. So I hope to see you next time. If you like the episode, feel free to like and subscribe. If you don't, I don't know. I would suggest not doing that.